Welcome from beautiful Morocco. Sorry I haven't released a lot of videos lately, but if you follow my travel channel right here, you're gonna know that I've been traveling. Also, I lost my voice for like 7 days. So let's start talking about how can you start with the end in mind. So you can't just become financially independent without knowing what that actually means. What is a financial independent for you or for me or for anybody else? So you gotta start with the end goal in mind. How much money you need to survive per month as a bare minimum. And to know that, you need to do what I did. 3 months, start writing what do you need in terms of how much money you spend per month for various things. Write how much you spend for food from the store, food from restaurant, drinks, coffee, fitness, makeup, anything that you can think of. A car, gas, repairs, mortgage or rent, whatever you have. Think of or write down how much you spend. Do that for 1 to 3 months, ideally 3 to 6, right? So the more months you have it, the more idea is going to have how much money you spend. And then see what you can get rid of. Okay, you can get rid of the restaurants. We're talking bare minimum. Okay, my bare minimum plus 30% comes to about, I think it was $2,500. Now my goal was to have double that amount. Okay, so my goal was to have $5,000 of passive income. This was my end goal. So I started with the end goal in mind. And then my vehicle, as you know, is real estate. You can have many vehicles. You can do ATM machines, you can do toothpicks, you can do knip-knops, you can do everything. If one house gives me, after timber, taxes, insurance, management, maintenance, emergencies and reserves, watch my YouTube videos on real estate. I'll leave the link of the whole playlist down below. Then let's say after timber we have $300 per house. Okay, so we need $5,000 divided by 300. We need 16 points, so we need 17 houses to do that. Okay, or the other option is to think of how many Airbnbs I need. Okay, if one Airbnb nets me $1,000, that's after everything. Okay, we paid management, we paid everything, so that means I need 5 Airbnbs. Okay, so the next goal is, okay, let's say I need 5 houses. This is for this example. Next thing is, okay, I don't have a house. How do I start with my first house? And I'm going to leave a link down and up here also for how to buy your first house. It's very easy. It is not scary. You might feel scared because it's your first house, but don't worry about it. Okay, 3 to 3.5% down payment. Rent the room, rent the extra rooms to somebody else, like I did, house hack. And with this house hacking, save more money to buy your second house. And when you buy your second house, now we can Airbnb it or long-term rent it. Depends how much comfort you feel. Once you have the second house, let's say you long-term rent it, so you may be making $200 to $300 a month in pure cash flow. Okay, so now start saving money for your third house. Maybe you long-term rent that one as well. Start saving money for a fourth house. The fourth, maybe you save enough money to Airbnb it. Now you're gonna have more income. Now we can, instead of buying the fifth, or maybe you buy the fifth house and Airbnb the fifth house, and now save money, go back to the house number 2, Airbnb that one, save money, go back to house number 3, Airbnb that one, and then do what I did, start traveling around the world and Airbnb your primary property. And bam, you got 5 houses, all making you at least $1,000 a month. This is a lower number, usually it's more than 1,000. My houses are netting me, and I'll tell you the exact number right now because I'm right in front of the computer. For 6 months, from January till June, average net is $2,027. So as you can tell, it's more than 1,000. Every month was more than 1,000. Now those are just the 4 Airbnbs that I manage. I have a 5th one that I have a manager, and I have long-term rental properties as well. So I've reached my $5,000 goal that way. I actually, my first Airbnb was my first investment property that I bought. It was a long-term rent, then second property investment, long-term rent, long-term rent, long-term rent, and then I came back to the first one and I made it Airbnb. And then my property number 5 and 6, I Airbnb those too. They're duplexes. If you follow my channel, you know I am the duplex king. So the duplexes, actually property number 5 and 6, I have Airbnb, so those are 4 units. Okay, but always think of the end. Like, what is the end? How does the end look like? To me, the end looks like traveling. Again, if you follow this channel, we just went to Bermuda, to the Azores, to Madeira, to Lisbon, and now to Marrakesh, and going to Pisa next. That's why I don't release as many videos. I do only 2 per month. I hope that serves you as a motivation to actually start writing your expenses, because if you do not know how much your expenses are, you cannot manage them. You can only manage what you measure. Income is easy to measure because you have a paycheck, but expenses are not as easy to measure. A lot of people do not know how much their expenses are, where are their money going to. So don't be like everybody else. Don't live paycheck to paycheck. Be like the new rich, how they call it. People who are not living in yachts, but people like me who can afford to go pretty much everywhere, except Bermuda, which is the most expensive country. Just don't go there. But here in Marrakesh, one coffee is 10 dirham, which is $1. Freshly squeezed juice, 10 dirham, $1. Dinner with coffee and juice last night I ate for 70 dirham, which is 7 US. Basically for the last week I've exchanged 200 US dollars and I still have around 40. Anyways, I hope that served as a motivation to you guys, for you to start today writing stuff down, analyzing, thinking about your goal, why do you want this goal, and acting upon it. And don't forget what I usually say, that people overestimate what can they achieve in a year, but they severely underestimate what can they achieve in 10. Usual slogan: the goal is not to look rich, but to be rich. Peace.